Famous jazz musicians like Miles Davis and John Coltrane, they never learned how to improvise right out of the chute. There's a lot of practice that goes into it. Same with Grateful Dead, same with Fish. I've heard both the Dead and Fish in interviews say that what looks easy on stage has hours and hours and hours of practice behind it. You have to practice to make it look that easy, right? So when musicians start, they start off by learning scales. This is the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. You're just learning the notes, you're learning where they are, you're learning how to get in between those notes. And then you learn chords. Chords is just a collection of 3 or more notes. And then you can string those chords together and learn how to move between those chords. And then you start to learn songs. And that's just a collection of chords usually. And then eventually you can just play in the moment. You can play by ear. That's how musicians rock it. So the important thing to recognize is the basics need to come first. And that's the same with the MQ process. It's important to learn the scales, learn the various tools, learn the various materials in isolation. What are these? What are these getting at? What are they for? What are the facilitation techniques around this tool? And then how do these tools work together? You might think of that as like a chord. How do these sequence of tools matter? And then you can get into the songs, which would be like the Money Quotient recipe. Here's the meetings that we propose. Here's the tools and materials within each of those meetings. This is like a recipe that you can follow. It's like sheet music. And then eventually you will learn the materials so well that you're able to pull out a tool, pull out an exercise ad hoc. When a client comes in with a particular issue, you know which tools will help that person because you've practiced so well. But it starts with the basics. It starts with the scales. And then eventually you get to improvise.